Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, June 10th, 2022. Welcome to another eBay video. Tonight we're going to be discussing more about your questions, comments, and concerns from last week's video. I also want to talk about freight shipments, something I've been telling you I was going to talk about for weeks. Also, a little bit about the new listing tool, eBay news of the week in general. If I have time at the end, I'll tell you a funny life story from many years ago, but only if I have time at the end. I need to see how long this runs. So we're going to start right now with your comments, questions, and concerns from last week's video. The first topic I want to address is the fact that buyers can leave us negative feedback if we cancel a transaction because their address was bad or because they asked to cancel. A few people wrote in. First was ZXC, Gary the Coin Guy. I've been negged for giving both reasons for canceling an order. Those reasons are buyer asked to cancel and bad address. Although I have no written eBay policy that's the case, it happened to me. It doesn't matter which reason you select, as you can still be negged. Ryan Glazer wrote, yes, the buyer can leave feedback for canceled orders for all reason codes. The leave feedback link used to be hidden, and the buyer would have to go out of their way to find the feedback forum page. It's that old, antiquated, Wild West leave feedback page. Anyway, with the spring seller update, the link to leave feedback for canceled orders is no longer hidden deep within eBay. This was referenced and disclosed in the fine print of the update. I've received some unfavorable ones already because of this. The perplexing part is why they would make this change. It's bad for business. Maybe they were getting too many support calls from buyers who wanted to make noise, which shareholders have to pay for. Well, as a result, they had to pay for the support call, which I requested feedback removal. Okay, Jennifer S. also wrote in on the same topic, but she wrote in as a buyer. Hey Joe, not too long ago, a seller canceled the sale on an item I bought and claimed I asked for it to be canceled, which was a lie. I messaged them telling them how upset I was that they blamed me. I never give negatives, but I did, because it was outrageous that these sellers do this when they made the mistake. Take responsibility for your actions. I'm a huge fan of Columbo and have watched this series several times over the years. I didn't know they ever said his name. Jennifer, in your case, I think you did the right thing by negging that seller who canceled your sale, claiming you wanted to cancel it. I don't have a problem with that kind of thing, all right? But I have been noticing, like I said in last week's video, quite a few sellers are getting negative feedbacks saying that they canceled the listing for one reason or another. If the buyer's address is bad, or if the buyer asks in writing to cancel, no way should they be allowed to neg a seller. However, if the seller did what they did to Jennifer and cancel it for no valid reason, that's another story altogether. Ryan Glazer wrote in about messages back and forth between buyer and seller. I believe from personal experience, time and time again, that more than one message back and forth with a buyer puts you in a timeout and makes the algorithm think there is a problem with your item, which causes a silent throttle as derelevant. This goes for pre-sale messages and additionally post-sale noise. Quote, I have a question about using my item, unquote. The quiet transaction is what is good for sales, and Amazon themselves even have a secret metric called perfect order percentage. However, this applies to eBay's Cassini too. This is not a conspiracy, and a very good reason newbie sellers should refrain from personalizing their transactions. Ryan, I never gave that much thought, but I guess it could be possible. This goes back to what we've been talking about over the last few months. And I know Dennis Copper has written in about this a lot, and he says he doesn't like when people ask him so many questions about it, they get crickets in return. When people write to me a valid question, I will answer it. But if they write to me a stupid question, they will get crickets from me. All right? This has been a very, very interesting week in eBay land. Although sales were very good, I had a lot of funny, interesting interaction, which I don't know if I'm going to have time to go through today because I have so much to cover. Next, in last week's video, I had asked you guys a question. If any of you knew Lieutenant Columbo's first name and how you came upon the information. Several people wrote in. Some were right, some were wrong. But I think the first person who wrote in was Vicky Gagan, and she said it best. Joe, Columbo's name is Frank. There was only one character in this show that referenced him by his name, Sergeant George Kramer. He was also asking, quote, Frank, do you want a coffee, unquote, something to that effect. At least that's how I remember it. Still watching it on Cozy TV Network. OTA is used to me on the METV. Network and OTA, not cable. I don't know what OTA is, but I do watch it on Cozy TV. And the way I came about knowing it, Vicky Gagan and everybody else, was somebody did a video on this topic. It's on YouTube right now. You can watch it. I don't remember who it was, but in one of the scenes of Columbo, Columbo pulls out his police shield and his ID card pops out, and you can see the first name is Frank. And the person who made the video actually highlighted that. You know, it's in the back of my head whose channel it is. It's somebody who I watch periodically who talks about popular TV shows. And I think he's the guy that covers I Love Lucy quite a bit. You know who it is? I think Rick Nenig, or Neinig, or however you say his name. I think that's the guy, but I'm not sure. I want to say one more thing about Columbo before we go any further. And I don't want to make this a Columbo video, but it's just too interesting not to talk about. In my opinion, the biggest blooper on TV is on Columbo, on a Columbo episode. And Cute Joey is the person who discovered it. For all you Columbo fans out there, and I know there's a lot of you from judging your comments, did any of you ever notice a super huge blooper? Something they should never have left in? Well, I did, okay? Now, I'm not talking about continuity, meaning somebody's wearing a blue tie, and then the next scene, he's got no tie, and then in the next scene, he's got the blue tie. That's continuity. I'm talking about something else. And I'm even going to tell you the episode. And next week, I want to hear from you guys if any of you noticed this. The episode is The Candidate, and the star villain that week was Jackie Coogan or Jackie Cooper, one of those two. I think it's Coogan. He played the candidate. That's all I'm going to tell you. If any of you know about the blooper, talk to me. All right, one more comment. This is from Rubber Wilbur. And he writes, I enjoy your non-scripted shooting straight from the hip vlogging style. Don't be shy to do these every once in a while. Thank you, Rubber Wilbur. I'm glad you liked that video. And yes, don't worry. I'm going to be doing quite a few of them because I find myself really short on time lately. This has been a really busy summer for me on eBay and elsewhere. So you'll be seeing some more of them. Now this leads me to what happened last week with my Friday video. I had to basically rush through the video and I made a mistake with the Screencast-O-Matic. I mentioned it in the video. It wasn't centered correctly. It was all cut off. It was just a freaking mess. So I had to actually take the video down, cut that out, and put it back up. If you guys are wondering why the video disappeared briefly, it was a mess. And I'm having problems with Screencast-O-Matic. I can't get it centered. But anyway, I filmed that video last Thursday night instead of Friday because something very important went down on Friday. And I'm going to explain it now. And it's eBay related. You may remember over the last few weeks, I've been talking about this huge purchase I made from out in California. The biggest purchase of my life. Huge, record-breaking. And it involved shipping the items here via freight. 26 pallets. It was a big endeavor. I had planned to make a video here on YouTube and put it out and explain it to you guys. I didn't have time right away. I kept pushing it off, and I'm glad I did. Because the powers that be at eBay heard of my story and asked me to go onto their podcast last Friday and tell them the whole story on the podcast. So Griff and Brian Burke interviewed me, and I told them the whole story, and you can hear it when you're done watching this video. There'll be a link in the description box to the podcast that I recorded a few days ago. If you're interested in skipping right to the section where I come on at the 29-minute, 10-second point. And I tell the whole story about how I arrange the freight shipment, how you should arrange freight shipment if you ever need stuff trucked to your work or to your house or whatever. And I think you'll enjoy it. But I'm not going to talk any more about that now. You can hear that later when you click that link after this video. Okay, sales this week were very good with the exception of, I believe it was Tuesday. Now, it's my opinion something happened on Tuesday. I am busy every day of the week, knock wood. Tuesday, I made one sale early in the morning, 9 o'clock, and nothing. And I mean zero, and that never happens. Never. It got to be about 5 o'clock at night, and I'm nervous. I'm a nervous wreck now. Nothing is sold. So I decided to print the shipping label for that one item that sold at 9 a.m. I couldn't print a shipping label. There was a glitch. I wasn't sure if it was on my end or eBay's end. I jumped onto the Facebook groups. Sure enough, it was on eBay's end. So then I started putting it together. I said maybe the whole site was experiencing glitches all day, and that's why I'm not making any money today. 20 minutes later, I tried to do the shipping again, and it worked. Then, ka-ching, ka-ching, sale after sale Tuesday night, like nothing was wrong. So I'm thinking that Tuesday during the day there was a glitch. If you guys noticed you were unusually slow on Tuesday, talk to me about it. I'd love to know. Occasionally, eBay will seek out its top-rated sellers and do a one-on-one Zoom chat with them. And I was honored earlier today. They asked me to do a Zoom chat regarding the new listing tool and regarding changes to the mobile app. So we shared our screens and I talked to them about things I like, things I don't like, changes I'd like to see. And they were very interested in what I had to say, and they took notes, and it worked out really good. I tried to duplicate an error that I have, as I showed you guys a few weeks ago when I was in the item specifics, and I wanted to change the quantity from, let's say, 1 to 4. I showed you how the screen would gray out and temporarily freeze, and then it would rectify itself. Well, naturally, when I had the employees on the Zoom call, I couldn't duplicate the error. But if you guys are experiencing that error or any problems, let me know. eBay is very interested to find out what you guys think and to have these tools work seamlessly. I've had some interesting experiences with best offers this week. And again, don't confuse best offers with sending offers to watches. Best offers is something that's an option you can put right into your listing. If you have an item you want $100 plus shipping, it could say $100 with the best offer feature where the customer can shoot you a best offer. I find that to be immensely popular and immensely successful. Yes, I do get some lowball offers. I decline them. All right? I also get people who just don't pay. And they have such a cavalier attitude. Very briefly, what happened the other night, I had an item that was around $135 plus shipping. It's a nice item, but it's a dog. It is a freaking mutt if there ever was one. All right? So a customer sends me a best offer of $50. I would not accept it. That's less than half, and just out of principle, instant decline. 2 minutes later, same customer, $55, instant decline. 5 minutes later, same customer, $70. Now he's up to $70, which is just slightly over half of what I want. You know, it's a dog. It's been listed literally for 2 years. I'm not lying. What the heck? The guy's a serious buyer. His feedback was 400 and something. He wants the item. He's begging me for it. This is his third offer. Click accept. Okay, I accept the offer. I send him an invoice. 24 hours later, the dancing starts in full regalia. And he writes to me and says, go ahead and cancel the sale. These are not the right size for me. I checked after I made the last offer, and I have 16-inch wheels. These are 15-inch. The mistake is one thing, but such a cavalier attitude like it's nothing. And you guys know, in all my listings, I clearly say I will not cancel under any conditions. I swear it. I swear to you. And I'm not canceling it. Now, I have nothing to gain, okay? eBay's not going to do anything to him. But in the 1 in a million chance that they do, I always employ the unpaid item tool. And I employ that on the 4th day, and I just automatically relist it for free. As you know, there are 2 schools of thought on this, not canceling. If I say to this buyer, or any buyer, hey, I'm not canceling, it's your job to read, you entered into a binding contract. Most of them, I'd say 75% of them, will go to quiet. That's it. You won't hear a thing from them because those are the people, in my opinion, that do this repeatedly. And they know they will not be sanctioned in any way, so it's just another day at the office, business as usual, they go away. Then there's the small 25% who really don't know that they have carte blanche as a buyer on eBay, and they will be livid. They will ream you out like you've never been reamed. And I must say, I must confess, I kind of enjoy it a little. Just seeing them go off on me like this. I mean, I know nothing's going to happen to them, but it really makes it all worthwhile. And I say to them, I know Dennis Copper gives them crickets, and if that's what he does, that's his business. But I say to them, I want you to understand something. As a buyer, it's your responsibility. All right? These ain't my rules. Cute Joey doesn't make the rules. eBay makes the rules, and by God, you're going to follow them. Okay? I follow them. You follow them. Buyers need to follow them too. So yeah, that works out pretty good. I know there's about 15 other things I'd like to tell you, but I didn't make notes of them. So I'm not going to tell you them. I'm going to leave you this week with a funny life story. I don't know if I've ever told you this. It has nothing to do with eBay, but it has to do with meeting a person outside of context. Let me give you an example. Every day, most of you get up, you go to work. On the way to work, maybe you buy the newspaper, you get a coffee and bagel, you see the same people every day, you go to your job. Even though you see these same people every day, that doesn't mean these people are friends of yours. They're just people you happen to see every day. Maybe you nod to them, wave, hey, what's up? That's it. Hey, what's up? How you doing today? All right? Maybe not even that. It's just somebody that is on the absolute periphery of your life. So that's what this story's about. Back in the year, I believe it was 2000, I used to have a certain set route on Sundays. And every Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, I would wind up in a specific diner in the South Bronx. It was in a Spanish neighborhood, and I was basically the only gringo that you'd ever see in there, except for the local cops. They would sometimes come in and get food. But it was very convenient. The prices were good, and I would always go in there and eat at the counter. And the counter was U-shaped. It wasn't the normal long diner counter. It was a U-shaped thing. So consequently, you'd be sitting eating, and you'd be looking straight across at other people. And since I went in there every Sunday at 8 o'clock, there were other people like myself that would be there every Sunday at 8 o'clock. I got to see the same faces. Sometimes we'd acknowledge each other, sometimes not. What's up? How you doing? That's it. No more, no less. Now back then, a girl that I used to date had a good job as a casino host in one of the big casinos in Atlantic City. So basically, if you were a high roller, you would call her up and she would book you rooms for free. You know how it works when you get a comped room in Atlantic City if you're a high roller, because you lose so much money at those tables or those machines. They give you free rooms and drinks. Well, anyway, my ex always hooked cute Joey up, and she always gave me free rooms when I wanted them. I would usually take 2 nights at a time, 2 nights in a row, and I'd go down to Atlantic City. So on this one particular occasion, there was a band playing that I wanted to see. It was, God, who was it? There were so many. Was it Kiss? It was a name band too. And the best part was Poison opened for them. It might have been Poison opening for Kiss. I don't remember, okay, but it was just something I had to see. I had to see the show, so she got me tickets to the show and rooms all for free, all right? Consequently, though, I have time to kill while I'm down there. So it was a Saturday night, and I'm moseying along. I'm heading for the men's room. And as I'm going into the men's room, there's a Spanish guy coming out. He walks by me, I walk by him. Instantly, both of us stop dead, turn around, and I said to him, "You!" It was the Spanish guy that sits across from me in the diner in the South Bronx every Sunday morning. And he recognized me as well and was just as shocked to see me. And the two of us stopped and talked for the first time ever in our life, like we were the two long-lost friends that always hang out. And we're talking, blah, 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 talking about Atlantic City. And I said, what a coincidence to meet this guy over 2 hours away from where I usually run into him in the South Bronx. So I said to myself, well, now I guess we'll probably be a lot friendly toward each other when we see each other in the diner. Do you know I never saw the man again, ever once in my life from that night? I don't go to that diner anymore, but I did go back then. I kept going, and he just disappeared off the face of the earth. But I just thought you guys would enjoy that funny chance meeting. I'm sure you guys have similar stories. If you want to share them, be my guest. But I've kept you guys long enough tonight. I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Thank you for watching this video. Every Friday night I make a video to try and help you guys stay successful as eBay sellers. If you think I'm doing a good job, please leave me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm on point and appreciated. If you don't think I did a good job, tell me in the comments section what you want me to hit up, and I'll try and do it next week. Also, if you have time after the video, click the podcast. Let me know what you think, all right? Anyway, that's it. Go out there and make a ton of money on eBay. Rock on and peace!